Hello everyone, and welcome to Annie G Studio. This is my very first Facebook Live, and I'm not used to looking in the camera as I'm talking, so this is kind of interesting. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to start something new. On Mondays, I want to start posting posting a little sign. Of course, this one's backwards because I'm using my selfie camera, but I want to start posting just a theme for the week. And what I would love for you all to do is think about the theme and then post. Oh, I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on. Oh no, I don't want to do that. Sorry, my first time I'm figuring this out. Hi, Sherry. What I want to do is have a different theme every week. I'll post it on Mondays, and then have you guys really think about what that theme means to you. And if you have time during the week, please create some artwork based on that theme, and then I would love for you to post it in my group. Now, that means you have to join my group. It's called Annie G's Paper Crafting Inspiration, and it should be right there at the top on my Facebook page. You click join the group. I believe there are 3 questions you have to answer, and then it goes to me, and then I just click yes, and you're in the group. I would love to see what everyone else is making, because what I've found over the years is that people interpret things differently, and I love to see that, see what other people come up with, because I only have my own ideas and I love to share with other people. So what I'm going to do right now, again, this is going to be a little backwards, but this is the little tutorial that I'm going to be doing. It's an accordion book. So I am going to switch my camera. Bear with me. I have to switch it down to my desk. Might be a little shaky in the process. And if it's really loud in here, I apologize. This is a studio with a bunch of other people, and we're in a big warehouse, as you can see by my ceiling. Hopefully it won't be too loud. Let me switch my camera and zoom in a little bit. Yeah, camera. Hey, I did it. Okay. Now I'm going to zoom in. And that's probably too close. There you go. All right. What does happiness mean to me? Well, for me, happiness is obviously friends and family. It's my pets. I love my dog. She always brings a smile to my face. But I wanted to think of some other things. What are some things I can just look at or think of and it makes me smile? The first one on my list was ocean. So my little book that I made is based on an ocean theme. I studied marine biology in college, and I grew up near the water in New York, so that's near and dear to my heart. Other things are traveling and flowers. If I ever see just cards with flowers or things like that, they make me happy. So hopefully if you're going to follow along on the tutorial, you'll be able to find a piece of scrapbook paper or something that brings you happiness. And for this one, I actually have a travel cut apart. It came from an old authentique set. So the one I'm going to do now is travel, but you can do anything. What's neat about this size of little accordion book, this is it opened up. I don't know how well you can see all the different pages. I'm not sure if you all can see me. I don't know why it's not showing up. Hang on a second. I don't understand. I hope you can. Oh, there I am. Okay. This is the rest of the book. And this is nice because I made it the size that these cut-aparts fit perfectly in there. It's also a great size if you want to have little Instax photos that you could place in here. You can make little pockets. We're going to do a whole bunch of things. So, the basic accordion book, you want to use sturdy cardstock. I am using, let me get this out of the way. I'm using Nina Solar White 110-pound cardstock. 80-pound will work as well. There are also scrapbook papers out there that, I don't know, yeah, oh good, it's showing up. Scrapbook papers that are made from cardstock, cardstock, not necessarily paper. This is from Blue Fern Studio, so this would be really nice. You could cut this up and use it as your actual accordion book. And then maybe mount some photos on it or put some little journaling spots in there. So you don't just have to use white cardstock. But the very first thing we are going to do, since there are 12 of these, I'm going to show you what you need to do. You want to take your paper on the long side. This is 8.5 by 11, and you want to cut it on this side at 4.5 inches. So if you're following along with me, go ahead and take your cardstock and cut it at 4.5 inches, and that'll leave you with some 4-inch sheets as well, which we're going to use later. So I'll just chop them off. And I'll see if I can do 2 of them at once, so you guys know how to cut cardstock. But if you are following with me, let me know. I'm trying to see how I can see your comments, and I'm not sure how to get my comments on. Oh, there they are. Okay. Gotcha. Again, I'm new to this. I'm just figuring it out. So I'm putting my 4-inch ones aside. These are all 4.5 inches wide. And as you see, these are going to fit perfectly. So the next thing we want to do, please let me know if my little fan is too loud. I mean, the studio is pretty loud anyway, but I just have a small little fan on my desk. So let me know. So the next thing we're going to do is score. And these little pieces, once you cut them apart, they're 4 inches by 3 inches. So this paper is 4.5 inches wide, so I want each of my panels to be 3.5 inches. So I'm going to come on my scoreboard, I'm going to score it 3.5 inches. And then I'm going to score again at 7 inches, because 3.5 plus 3.5 is 7. And then I'm going to score again at 10.5. And what that leaves you with is 3 panels and a little bit of a lip that you can then glue to the next set of panels. So you can keep going. You can make this as long as you want. We may have an extra panel. We'll see at the end if I want to keep it or not. So again, 3.5 by, where am I, 7? And yes, I am uncoordinated, by 10.5. And one more time. 3.5 by 7 by 10.5. And now you want to fold these. Now, the important thing to use a scoreboard on this is, especially with thicker cardstock, if you don't score it first, it tends to crack. And you don't want it to crack because then it looks terrible. And it might actually rip later. So I'm just going to score these really quickly. And you do a back and forth fold, and it doesn't matter if you score on the wrong side. You can score it on both sides if you really want to, but because it can go either way. And what's neat about the scoring is usually you see the little valley, you fold that back, but with an accordion fold you're going to be going in different directions. I don't know if that made sense. But so I'm going to do the same thing here. And as we work with them, you'll see that you can score them down more, or they'll work a little better. There you go. And one more. And again, this might be one panel too long. We'll see if that'll just leave you a little bit extra room to journal in there if you want to, or to have a blank space. Or you could just cut one of the panels off if you don't want. If you want it to be like symmetric, like 2 and then a blank space and then 2, you could cut a panel off, or you could just mix it up and do whatever you want. Now, here you go. I'm getting ready to put these together, but you want to make sure they're folding in the same direction. If I tried to do this, it's going to be weird. So you lay it down like this. Okay, so I'm going to take this piece right here, and for the video, I'm just going to put double-sided tape on. Honestly, I would probably use glue to make it stay stronger. Double-sided tape is great; it's really strong. But I kind of like. I like making sure it's really not going to go anywhere. And you want to put it close to the edge. If you want, you could put a second piece there. But and I line them up kind of like this. And I sometimes I'll fold it and really make sure it's right in the right place before I set it down. Get it in there close. Another reason I use glue is you have a little bit of wiggle time. The two-way tape wants to just adhere right away. So here you go. I've got 2 parts, and now I'm going to take the next one, and I can actually cut off this little lip, or I could use it for something else. I'm going to leave it on for now. Okay. So again, I'm going to, this is a valley fold, if you know the difference between mountain and valley fold. So you just want to come in here and put your tape right in there, and I'm just going to snip this off. I'm not sure why I'm not seeing the streaming comments. Again, this is, okay. Oh, hi, Ellie, how are you? Oh my gosh, this is great. The paper I showed before, yes, I have that paper in my store. I love it. It is Blue Fern Studio, and they're gorgeous. The travel paper I do not. This is an old set, but the other sheet that I showed you before, that's from the Jane's Memories collection. So, okay, right here. If you wanted, you might be able to try to fold it over, but I'm going to cut this off. And there you have it. You have a nice little accordion. This one. Yeah, that's good. I now have a little accordion book. Now the next thing I want to show, oh, sorry about that. The next thing I want to show you is how to create pockets for this. I don't have any pockets in my sample, and you can see how I will probably, I think I put my scorer away, but here we go. Throughout, you may want to just flatten it down a little bit, but it's okay. Now on my book, I just tied ribbon around it. If you would like, you can add the ribbon to the back, but then you're going to have this big whole ribbon hanging down, and if it's sheer like this, it doesn't matter if it covers the front, but if it's a solid ribbon, remember it's going to cover your front image, so you may or may not want an image on the, a ribbon on this. You could just do what I did and just attach a ribbon at the end, and once I open it up, the ribbon's not there, it's out of the way. Either way, for this one I would probably attach the ribbon just to show you what that's like. Okay, so we have our little book. The nice thing about this, okay, so this is, like we said earlier, this is 3.5 inches wide, and I need kind of a lip to score and to attach to my piece, so I needed a 1/2 inch wider. So I need a 4-inch wide sheet, which we happen to have already cut. And I can post the measurements later on. And so since this is 4.5 inches long, I'm going to make it 5 inches tall, again, so I have a bottom fold. So I'll take one of my extra pieces and I'll cut it at 5 inches. And then only on 2 inches, I'm going to score it. Make sure I'm on the screen. Score it at a 1/2 inch on one long side and one short side. Oh, you know what? I meant to cut it first because that might show up, but that's okay. You'll notice I sometimes do things backwards. So before you score it, go ahead and take your sheet, and it's a little hard to line up, but you want to go make a diagonal cut. So you have to just kind of go back and forth until you line it up. I don't know if you can see that the corners are right there, and then cut. And that is going to be my pocket. I keep dropping that. So next, again, score 1/2 inch and a 1/2 inch, and then you want to cut out this little square, otherwise it gets too bulky and gets in the way. And I'm just going to open to a random page in my book. And here you go. Score it. Score this, and then we'll just trim down those edges that are sticking out. And it doesn't have to be perfect. You just want to get them out of the way. So I'm just going to cut them like this to make them disappear. That way when the pocket is folded, you won't see them. And now I have a cute little, that I need to do a little more. Sometimes it's trial and error. So now I am going to do the same thing. I'm going to put score tape on here, and I'll put the score tape on the small side first. It really doesn't matter. But I'm going to put it towards the end, because that's this edge, this outer edge is the part that I really want to stick down. You don't want that coming off the paper, so I'll put my tape closer to that edge. And if you want to put a little bit of glue in here as well, but because it takes a little while for glue to dry, I'm only going to use the score tape for the video. I would probably use both, just if I was making something for myself. So now I'm going to fold that down and put my tape on the other side. And I didn't follow my own directions. Set it down towards the edge. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you can get it pretty close. And now I'm going to take this and let's see, since I want to put something in and take it out, I would no, actually I don't want it to fall out. Oh, that's smaller. Okay, so I guess I can't add because that should have worked, but it didn't. Alright, I'll figure out the proper dimensions and get them to you later. But actually it's probably better that it's a little bit smaller because you have room. It's not going to take up the whole pocket. So this is not straight. Again, I use glue because I'm not very straight when I first put things down, so I have to maneuver them a little bit. But anyway, here's a little pocket for you. And it's kind of cute this way. I like it because you have a little room to get things in and out. If it was all the way across, it might be a little tighter. But I will figure out the dimensions to make it proper, so if you wanted one all the way across, it'll work. But anyway, there's a little pocket in there. Now the next thing you want to do, it doesn't matter, oh gosh, I am a mess. Hold on one second. Decide which is going to be your cover, and then on the back you want to take your ribbon, and this piece that I have right here is 2 feet long. It's 24 inches. So you want to find your center. It's about centered, and you can use any of your adhesive because you're going to be putting one of your pieces, your cutout pieces, over this, and try to get it, pardon my head, try to get it as centered as possible. And now you're going to take, say, one of our pieces. I don't know. Let's take The World Is Yours. And we're going to put that right over it, and when we adhere this down, it's going to really secure that ribbon to your project, which is nice. Okay, so we did that. Now, if you want, you can add some washi tape. What I like to do before I stick anything else down is lay out all of my pictures and see where I want them, and then if I want to add some washi tape, I'll show you on this one. And I did the washi tape after the fact. I kind of wish I had done it first, but I had placed down one of my panels, then I left it a blank one, then I placed down 2, left it blank, and did 1, and then you flip over, actually I did 2. To here. So I just added a little bit of washi tape in different areas. Now on these I did the tape first and placed them on top of the washi. So you can just kind of come up with different ideas. The same thing with here. So what I will do right quick is figure out, I probably should have done this before the video started, but these are all these little fun little things that I have. Some of mine are horizontal, so it might be a little, I may not use those. I may have some extra space. So that's, yep, mine is going to be horizontal and vertical. So one thing I can do, since this is horizontal, is I could cut it down a little bit and mount it on a piece of colored cardstock and then put it in here as a tag. That would be another cute thing to do. So if you have some that are kind of go both ways, then you can do that. So time to relax. There you go. And not all who wander are lost. I love this. So it's gonna say, you know what I did? Well, I'm left-handed, so I did my accordion this way. It should have been this way probably for you all that are right-handed, but I did mine this way. This one I did correctly, where it opens like a regular book. What I may do is, the pocket's already in there, so I'm gonna probably take off a panel because I have too many anyway, so I'll take off this panel right quick. For some reason when I put the pocket in, I wasn't even thinking of that, so yeah, a little bit of forethought would have helped. But that's okay. Alright. So now my project will work properly, and I had one too many panels anyway. So as I open it up, now a lot of things, what I wanted to do is I wanted to cover up the seam. There are going to be some somewhere in the back, somewhere in the front, and I have some travel washi tape. I have a bunch of different ones actually. This one's kind of fun. It has, I don't know, I just grabbed a bunch that looked like they matched. So what I'm going to do is figure out what I want as my cover image. And I think I want this one. Oh, darling, let's be adventurers. That will be my cover. And then I'm going to open it up, so we'll set this guy aside, because he's going to actually end up on the back, as you see. So we'll open this up. It's really long. It's not all going to show. And I don't know, you can... Time to relax, and maybe our, that one has this one. Let's see. That's going to go in the back. Oh, here, passport. We'll go here, and then our trip. So you can make them more colorful, or you can make some that you can write on together. So you can do that. And then I think what I may do is let's make a getaway, and I'll just do it sideways, and because people are going to be turning this book around anyway, I don't know if it really matters. And so since I know this is the color scheme that I'm using, I'm probably going to use one of my brown. This one has a map, I believe. So I'm just going to add some washi tape to cover up the seam. And basically, from here on out, you can do whatever you want with this book. It's yours. You get to add some more pockets. You can bling it up. It does not really matter, but with something like this, it's nice because that will go with my page. Oh, excuse me. It'll go with my page. Now you don't want to fold it over because remember you're going to be using the back of this as well, so it would look weird with little pieces of washi tape folded over. So I am just going to use a tape runner to stick these down, and like I said before, if you want, you can use some Instax photos. I think that would be super cute. Just you maybe mount them on cardstock and then put them in on a page. You could do some little journaling prompts. There's a lot of stamps out there with lines that you can kind of stamp a cute little thing and put it in. Some of these actually have it on there. So here's one. Relax. I may, from here on out, just add tape. Well, this one, actually, what I might do, I have some of this cute tape. I might, oh, note to self, I should have edged this edge before with my ink. I'm going to show you that in a minute. But edge your pockets before you adhere them. At least, so what I should have done, again, that's usually how I figure things out, is what I should have done instead of what I'm doing, is make your pocket and lay it down, but don't adhere it till you're ready to go. And then you can like maybe add some washi tape, and for this you could fold it over. That'd be kind of cute to have a little edge of washi tape there. You could just make it really simple. This one I'm just going to put straight down. And it's nice because the possibilities are endless. If you're more of a mixed media person, you could just spritz and spray and color your background and make it absolutely fantastic. Or you can leave it white. You can, if you're a minimalist or you just don't like a lot of clutter, you can leave it all, just leave it white like this and be fine with it. There's so many different options, and that's what makes this really fun. This is our passport and our trip, and I'm going to use this one. I think I like this one. This one's pretty. Tie a little bit of the blue in there because I'm actually going to edge this in blue. And now it gets a little bit tricky towards the edges trying to cut the washi tape off at the edge here. But like I said before, you can fine tune it after you're all done. You want to get the pieces down, you can always trim a little bit off. Like where these panels fell, they're not perfect, but that's all right. And if you guys are asking me questions on Facebook, I'm not very good at checking out the comments, so I will do my best. If I do miss a comment of yours or a question, if I don't answer it during the video, I will definitely comment after the video and try to answer your question as best I can. So here you can see how my pages weren't exactly lined up straight. So I'm just going to trim this little bit off. Most of it doesn't matter because I'm going to edge with the color, but there you go. And then I will try to do this a little quick because you all know how to add things into a book, but I want to at least get the basic book done for you so you can at least have an idea of how long it takes. What's nice about this is it's actually pretty fast. I was surprised how fast you can make some of these, and what shoot, I'm out of tape. What a great gift for people. You can make just a little book for someone if you know they're going on a trip. You could do something like this and only put a few of these pieces in there and then leave spaces for them to add their own photos or have little things like this where they can journal on. Let's see what else we have. And these are going to go on the other side. This guy. I love this. I don't know if I can cut it down. No, it wouldn't fit. I was thinking, can I fit it in there that way, but I can't. So I'm just going to put it in here as Let's Make a Getaway. It's towards the back of that edge. I'm fine with it. Oh, I'm out of stuff. Give it a shot. I hope I'm not doing all this off camera. Still getting used to the area that is in the camera. So this is going to go on my back. And we're going to do this. So this is, let me go little by little. This is the beginning of it right here. And as you can see on here, what I did differently is I added diamond glaze and some sparkles, and I have these little wooden shapes that I painted and some washi tape, and we'll edge in a minute, and then I just added some stamps. I just kind of filled it in as I wanted to. So basically, I don't know if you can see them both together, but you can bling this up or down or leave it or whatever you want to add to it, and it can look similar to this. Now, I used, on this one, since everything was a light blue, I used weathered wood. When I distress the edges of my projects, probably 90% of the time, I use vintage photo because it gives it a nice distressed look, and that's what it's designed for, and it's just a great color. But I didn't want the brown. I wanted to see the blue, so I used, I don't know if you guys can see how well that you can see this. I used weathered wood on this one. I could use vintage photo on this because a lot of these are vintage, but I thought I would try chipped sapphire distress oxide instead. So I'm going to show you a little bit about distressing the edges, because you have to remember to go kind of backwards and forwards, so you'll be bending some things the opposite way to color them. Okay, if I can open it up. What's neat about the oxides is they go on kind of bold, but as they dry, they soften up. So it might seem like the wrong color. And I have one of these little foam thingies for pretty much every color. I just have a box of extra ones. My mini inks, I don't even know if they make the mini inks anymore, but the little foams fit perfectly underneath. And I have one for every color of my mini ink. But for my bigger inks, and you can do just a teeny bit on the edge so you can barely even see it, or you can come like this and add some more color. It doesn't really matter. And while that blue may look a little weird with just this brown piece, by the time the whole thing is done, it's going to look great because it's going to help this brown piece coordinate with all the other ones. So now I want to fold this backwards, do this side, but then I have to remember to also come around and do this side. And I'm going to do this, I'm just going to do one side for you because you all can figure out how to glue things into a book. Again, the same thing. Now, obviously, it's probably going to wipe off of your washi tape. I don't know how well the oxide might stick. Just a regular distress may just come off because it's a dye ink. Depends on how long you let it sit before you rub it around. I tend to end up wearing whatever I'm doing, so I smear things, I smudge things. If you make a mess, it's okay. What I have learned in crafting is that it's more important to learn how to cover up your mistakes or use your mistakes as a new opportunity for something else rather than to not make them, because you are not going to get through a project without making at least 1 or 2 mistakes. It's just Murphy's Law. So instead, just embrace them and have a little fun with it and figure it out. And like I said, since I adhered this before I distressed the edge of this, I may just add a little bit of washi tape and trim it down. Or just leave it white. It doesn't really matter. It depends on what I stick in there. So again, I'm going to go all the way around. You have to go backwards. Make sure you do both sides of the panels. And I'm sending my things on the floor here. Okay. I'm almost done. If you are following along, just kind of do as much as you can, and then I'll go to the next spot, and you can always go back and add all your details later. I'm not sure how well you can see this. So this one, you do want to add your pocket before you do the edges so that it's kind of seamless and it doesn't look chunky like you did it 2 different times. And make sure I got this back side here. And you get to see I'm not being very picky because I'm distressing it. So I don't worry about it being perfect. I like the look of it being a little wonky. So, all right. So here you go. This is the insides. This is what it looks like. And I actually like the blue, but blue's my favorite color, so I'll put blue on anything and like it. I don't know if you're that way. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm not worried about the whole back, but I'm going to put my cover piece and my back piece on, and then tie it up just to show you something at least almost finished. And I think I dropped. Okay. I don't know where that little piece went. Oh, here it is. So I'm going to add her to the front. I think I'm not in the camera, sorry. I'm not being very picky here. Oh, darling, let's be adventurers, and I'm going to... There we go. And looking at it, I think I put it on crooked. I like these tape runners because if you do with something crooked, you usually have at least one chance to pull them up and get them straight. Ooh, maybe not with this one. Ah, she's going to be crooked. Okay, never mind. What my favorite tape runner, what I love, is the mono adhesive dots. It's the permanent dots because you can reposition it a couple times before it's done, but once it sits, it becomes permanent, and I love these. That's my all-time favorite. Yeah, it's crooked. Oh well. And for the back, so here's my back piece. Here's my ribbon. I'm going to try this. We travel not to escape life, but for life not to escape us. And oh, sometimes I hum when I'm crafting. Oh, I think it's filthy. So if I do, just sorry. And what I could do to make sure this is straight is to add a little bit of adhesive. I kind of know I need to leave a space, but just add a little bit more adhesive here. So when I put down my piece, I'm not struggling with the ribbon. But you want to make sure you don't put it all the way to the edge because, well, I guess you could technically, but I don't like my adhesive to show. And what you want to do is make sure you have it not upside down like I did before. And just cinch that down. I'm going to edge this piece. Probably smart to do before you put your ribbon on, but again, I don't always do things that I'm supposed to do. And those of you watching, I hope you feel good about yourself when you craft, because you realize that you don't have to be perfect to get this done. So here is my little book. Tie a little bow in the front. It took me I'm left-handed, so it took forever for me to figure out how to tie bows. I mean, I was, I think, in my 40s before I knew how to tie a bow. And even then, sometimes I forget and mess it up, but we'll see if I can get this one. There you go. And then you can just trim that down. And there's a cute little book that you could give someone, and you can add blings to it. You can add any of your glitters, glitter glues, whatever to this. I'm going to refresh my page because if you guys are commenting, I can't see them. I don't know why. Okay. Well, anyway. I now know that for Facebook Live, I don't know how to get to the page where you see all the comments pop out. I'm still learning, so thank you for my friends for bearing with me during my first attempt. But here you go. So this is a cute little book. Now, if you're going to be using something like glossy accents or diamond glaze, what you want to do is pull this out flat and, pull it the whole way out flat. And I would put something heavy on either end so it doesn't move. You don't even want it like this because your glaze might drip. So flatten it all the way out and know that you're going to put the glaze on and leave it for a while until it's dry. So say I'm probably going to glaze over this, but I'm going to, there's probably some other pieces on here that I want to glaze over as well. So either just do a little chunk of it and let it dry and then come back to the end, or if you have a really long space on your table, you can hold the whole thing down, because what I want to do is put my diamond glaze on these words, and also on here. And then I may do her umbrella or do a stamp. There's a lot of different glitter pens. This is my Wink of Stella, and I think this is my Spectrum Noir one. Bunch of different accents that you can do. Again, washi tape, ribbon, a lot of different things you can add to here. And you can add little photos in here. You can put make some tags and stick them in there as well. Or you can have these kind of sticking out like that. Fold up your book, tie it up, and you're done. And that's it. I will work more on this and take pictures and post it to my Facebook page in a little bit after I get it done. Probably tomorrow, because I'm going to be doing a lot of glazing and I'm going to have to let it dry. There you go. Or later today. So there you have it. You have a cute little gift to make someone, and it doesn't take a lot. 1 sheet of cardstock, 3 sheets of 8.5 by 11 paper, and just a couple little ribbons and blings, and you have a really nice little gift for someone. This will be fun to do for the holidays. It would be really cute to do one with your pets, especially if you just want something happy. You want to, I don't know. Here's something that I have that I made that makes me happy every time I look at it, and I leave it on my desk. So something like this little book could be something you just have lying around that you stick on a shelf, or you put it near where you're working. And if you're ever feeling a little grumpy, you open it up and you look at it and you get excited, or you can journal in here or whatever. So think about what makes you happy and try to create some projects with happiness in mind. So I hope you enjoyed that video. Please comment, let me know what you think. I am always open to suggestions. And please join me next week. On Monday, I will post just a short video with our new theme. This was the theme this week, what happiness means to me. So I'll be posting our new theme on Monday. And please join my Annie G's paper crafting inspiration group. Also, today is Friday the 31st of July. It's the last chance for anybody to save 15% on my website. It's anniegstudio.com. Just click on shop and it'll take you right to my web store. Also, I would love it if you haven't already done so, if you would subscribe to my YouTube channel in addition to liking my Facebook page. Thank you again, and you all have a wonderful weekend. Oh, okay. Kathy, I'm so sorry. I see. I don't know why my on my iPad the comments were not scrolling. And I will save this video for those of you that are watching. You could watch it later, but and I will post on Facebook the sizes. I just used an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, and so I scored it. I cut it at 4.5, and then turned it sideways and scored at 3.5, 7, and 10.5. Again, my first video, I apologize, and I don't know why the comments weren't showing up on my iPad. I apologize. So I will post all of this, and I hope you guys have fun making your little books. Thank you.